Okay, good morning, students. So today we can start with, there is a 3 point. One is the EJB and persistency. And the second one is persistency entity manager mapping the persistency object. And finally, that is an entity relationship. So these are the 3 important concepts we have to present today. So first we can start with an EJB persistency. So persistency is nothing but that is the Java persistency API. So we can call it as an JPA. So J for the Java, P for the persistency, and A for the API. That is an application programming interface. So persistency means they have some of the specification, and we can access and presenting and managing some of the Java objects and as well as the classes to do in the relationship between the database. So this is, we can call it as the EJB persistency. So the Java persistency API is a Java specification for accessing, presenting, and managing data between the Java objects or a class and the relation database. So this persistency is work with the EJB 2.0 version. So when you're using the JPA was defined as a part of EJB 3.0 specification, so we have to replace from EJB 2.0. And when the JPA is now considered for the standard industry approach for ORM. So what is ORM? Nothing but an object to relation mapping. So how the object can mapping between the two entities or two relations. And the JPA itself is just for a specification. It is not a product, and it cannot perform persistency or anything else by itself. Means it is only the specification itself. And the JPA is just a set of interface and requires an implementation. Means we have to interface to the one system to the another system, or one object to the another object. So we have to require the implementations. So there are open source and commercial JPA implementation. Choose from and any of Java Enterprise Edition, that is the 5th application server we can use to provide to support the EJB API. And the JPA is also require a database to persist to the database. So this is the brief history. And when go for the POJO, nothing but a plain old Java objects. So we have to mapping this type of persistency. So JPA, it allows, that is a POJ, it is easily persisted without doing any class to implement any interface or method. So when you're using this POJ, JO, so there is no required for class to implement any of the interface or any of the method. So you can just initializing the EJB 2.0 version comfortable with the specification required, because JPA is a specification. It is not a product. So when you're using this JPA, it allows an objects, that is an object relational mapping, to be defined through this standard annotations, and we can using XML. So this JPA we are used to write the code or any relational mapping between the object. So we have to go through the some of the standard annotation and XML. Then the Java class, it maps to the relation database table. So we can use to this Java database table. And the JPA is also defined a runtime entity manager. So we can see that in the next session, we can see that what is entity manager. So this entity manager API is a process for writing the queries and transaction of an object against the database. So you should know that what is the entity manager. It is a API for processing the queries and transaction on the particular object against the database. And JPA defines an object level query language. So you should know that this is very important point. This is the Viva question will be asked. So where it should be defined the JPA, we can define this JPA an object level query language. That is JPQL. That is JPA object query language. That is a QL is nothing but a query language. So it allows the query from the object from the database. So this is a main concept. We are using EJB in the persistency. And this is very important point. It may be asked for the examination point of view. So these are the following are the key component of persistency API in EJB. So this is very important. So there is a 4 types of key factor or the key component we are using in the persistency API. One is an entity. Second one is an entity manager. The third one is a persistency unit, or we can also call it as a persistency.xml. And the fourth one is the data source. So this data source we can write in the XML script. So entity means it is a persistency object representing the data stored record, and it is good to be a serializable. So entity manager, it is the interface to do the operations like an addition, deletion, update, or search on the persistency object. So object is nothing but we can call it as an entity. And it also helps for writing the query to interfacing the query interface. And the persistency unit means we can describe the properties of persistency mechanism. And the fourth one is the data source. It describes the data stored, related queries, nothing but related properties like the connection, transaction, URL, username, and the password, etc. So these should be written in the XML scripting language. So these are the 4 important key components of persistency API in EJB. So I think it is very important. It can be asked for the examination of point of view. So how to demonstrate EJB persistency mechanism? So there is a 6th step is there. First, we can create the table. Second, create the entity class, and it is corresponding to the table. And the step 3 means create the data source and the persistency unit. 4th step, create the stateless EJB having the entity manager instance. And the 5th step is update stateless EJB, add method to add the record and get the record from database via entity manager. The 6th step is we have to build that consoling based application for the client side. So we'll access the stateless EJB to persistent data in the database. So these are the 6th step. We have to demonstrate EJB persistency mechanism. And the next one, that is a persistency entity manager. We have to mapping the persistency object. The first one is, we know that what is entity manager. The entity manager is an interface in an API. It manages the life cycle of entity instance. So this is, we can call it as an entity manager. And entities cannot persist themselves on the relational database annotations, but we have to declare in the POJO as an entity, or we can define its mapping the relation with corresponding table on the relational database. So this is very important point. So entity cannot persist themselves, but it acts on the relational database, or annotations are used to only declare in the POJO and defining the mapping and the relation between the table of data in our database. That is a relational database. And in JPA, the entity manager is interface. is used to allow the application to manage and search for entities in relational database. So this is an entity manager. And the entity manager is an API that it manages the life cycle of the entity instance, as you know that. So main point is an entity manager object, it manages a set of entities. So entity manager objects manages the set of entities that are defined by the persistency unit. So persistency unit you should write in the XML, or you can call it as a persistency.xml. And each entity manager instance is associated with the persistency context, because which language we are used to write the persistency unit. So this entity manager, it is always associated with the context. And when go for the persistency context define, it is the scope under which the particular entity instance are created, are persisted, and also we can remove through the APIs and made available by entity manager. Means when the using the persistency XML, so it is a part of an entity instance when we are created or when we are persisted, and we can also remove the API that is available in our entity manager. So in the some way, other words, we can call it as an the persistency contents is a conceptually similar to the transaction constant. So this is the main point. So it is similar. So where the transaction context is available. And the entity manager tracks because it is associated with the database, and all the entity object with persistent content, whatever we can change or update, or that we are made and flash this change to the database. So we can act as this entity object. We can changes the object, modify, update, flash, or remove to changes in our database. So once the persistent contest is closed, so all managed entity object at the instance become detached from the persistency contest, means disclosed, and it is also associated with the entity manager, and there is no longer to manage when the persistency contest is closed. Once it is closed, so all the attachable, whatever the entity manager of the entity object are no longer to the managed. So once an object is detached from the persistency contest, so it can no longer to be managed by an entity manager, and any of the state can be changed. The instance will not be synchronized with the database, because so once the object is detached, so there is no permission to manages or any state can be changed. So there will not be a synchronized in your database. So this is, we can call it as an entity manager, and there is a matched, unmatched entity is there. Matched means we can attach it. An entity object instance is either managed, means attached by an entity manager, or unmatched. Suppose in case if the entity manager is attached, means the manager monitors whatever the changes to be done in entity, so they can be synchronized them with the database whenever the entity manager decided to flush it state. So this is by using attached. Suppose in case if the entity instance become unmatched, then the transaction scope or of any of the extended persistency content ends. So unmatched means the process of transaction should be end. That is an But when you importing the consequence of this type of fact, the dispatched entities can be serializable and when sent across the network to the remote client. So this is very important point. Suppose in case the entity manager is unmatched, but we have to consequently using to importing some of the entities so they can be serializable and also the using this by using the remote network place of the client side. So this is one of the important point when the entity instance become unmatched entities. And finally, there is a operations or entity manager. So we can how which operations should be done. So it may be a persist or it may be a find, remove, merge, refresh, log, flush, contains, create a query, create a name, and create a native query. So persistency means we have to insert the new instance entity into the database and save that particular persistent state of an entity, and that should be in the relationship reference. And this entity instance become manager. So that is the persistency operations. If the operation should be find, means obtained a managed entity instance with a given persistent identity. Nothing but we have to initializing the in our table as a primary key. So we have to give to identify and return whatever the null value you found. It should be message to send to our the database, whatever the client side in to be displayed. And the remove means we can delete whatever the managed entity with the given persistency identity from the database. Suppose in case I have to remove any one of the entity manager of an object, you can delete by using the remove operations. Merge means, so two table can be merged so that first you can get down the state should be a detached and then only you can merge it. And the refresh means re-roll the entity from the database. Lock means we can set the lock mode. Flush means force to synchronizing with the database. If it is very important. Flush means we have to force synchronization with our database. Contains means determine if an entity contained in the current persistency database or the contest. So we can write the query creating using the dynamic Java persistency query language. And we can create the named query means instantly we can predefine the query name. The native means it related any of the query language. It may be a SQL query statement. So these are the persistency entity manager mapping the persistency object. And finally, we come to the last point of the module number 5, that is an entity relationship. So this entity relationship provide in the EJB 3.0. So we have to define a database entity relationship or mapping. It may like one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-one, and many-to-many relationship. So the following are the relevant annotations we have to using. So one-to-one means objects have one-to-one relationship. For an example, a passenger can travel using a single ticket at a time. So this is the best example of the relationship one-to-one. And one-to-many means objects have one-to-many relationship. For an example, so father can have multiple kids. And many-to-one means object have many to only one relationship. For an example, So multiple kids is there, but father is single, mother is there. And many to many means an object having many of relation with many of the relationship. For an example, a book can have multiple authors and an author can write multiple books. So this is by using the relationship many to many. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, next. So we will demonstrate, use this many to many mapping here. How to represent the many to many relationship. So we can find out that 3 following tables are required. So one is the book table, second one is an author table, and the third one is a book underscore author table. So in the book table containing some of the fields, that is a book table having the records of books, and the author table having the records of author, and the book author table containing having the linkage the above two mentioned book and the book author table. Book and the author table. Okay, how will be written? Write the source code by using these 3 tables. So first I have to create a table. So create a table, book author and book author in default database PostgreSQL statement. So first I have to create a table, name is book, containing a book ID is an integer and the name is a character 50. And the second table, I have to create a table as an author. I can give the author ID is integer and the author name is varchar 50. And the third table, we have to create a book underscore author, and we can find out the book ID integer and author ID integer. So these are the two is that we can defining as a primary key. Then I have to create a class for creating the entity class. So entity at a table, at the entity, that is the annotations we have to using at the table, name is equal to author, and class we can implementing the, that is the class, that is the author, we can implementing it is a serializable, and you can define the 2 private integer, one is then ID and the name. And the second annotation entity at a table, and the name is book. And here you can public class that should be implementing as a serializable, that is a book class can be implemented the serializable, and I have to setting the 2 private integer ID and the title, and we can set the author is author, because author table we have to using this, that is the book. And we can using a many to many annotations in our book entity. So how will be written? At entity, that is a public class, that is the class name is the book, it should be implementing is serializable. So we have to using the many to many. So using annotations at many to many, we are using the cascade equal to cascade type is persist and the cascade type is merge, because we have to merging to the persistency relational database. And fetch is equal to fetch type dot eager, because we have to return in the XML. So in the XML, we can write our own code of the scripting language. And then I have to joining this table, add to join table, that is a table is equal to add to table name is equal to book author, and the joins the columns equal to within the flower bracket, we can return as an add to join column name is equal to book ID. And we can using one more, that is the inverse joining columns, because we have to joining the author ID to the book author and book ID. So that at joining column of name is equal to author ID. And we can set that is a public set of author, we can get the author. So this is the many to many, because many authors can write many of the books, and many of the book can be written many of the author. So we should written the author itself. So this is an example of using many to many annotation in our book entity. So these are, we can call it as a, that is entity relationship. Okay. So I think end this relationship of EJB, one to one, one to many, many to one, and many to many relationship of entity. So I complete the advanced Java programming syllabus. If any doubt, please call immediately anytime. And today evening or tomorrow, I will send the module 5th questions. So you should write down and send it maybe in Saturday. And one more, I have written 2 years question paper, maybe 17 and 18, 2017 and 18 question paper of advanced Java programming. So I can send it Google Classroom also. These 2 paper can be solved. And also I have to send a PDF file of our 13 programs is there. So I think the 13 is not done. So you just leave it. So you can concentrate on the first 10. So maybe 11 and 12, I think a little bit is tricky. If it is good, then I will put in the lab session. So you should write the record, all the 12 programs in your record book. And one more important, whatever you write the question paper, test 1 and test 2, please don't miss it. Collect it and staple. And once the college is open, you should submit me. Once the college is open. Any doubt? So please ask if you have any problem of any subject or my subject. So free to talk with me. So maybe 6 minutes is there. Anything to talk with me? Please unmute and talk. So ಅಷ್ಟು ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಮಾಡ್ಯೂಲ್ 1 ಮಾಡ್ಯೂಲ್ 2 ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಸೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ 3rd and 4th ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಮಾಡ್ಯೂಲ್. And the 5th one module questions today evening or tomorrow I will send it in the Google Classroom. ಆಮೇಲೆ 2 ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಅದನ್ನು PDF ಮಾಡಿ ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀನಿ Google Classroom ಅಲ್ಲಿ. So you can just go through the 2 question paper, how the whatever the question will ask, and ಯಾವ ತರ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಗೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ನೀವು ಬರೀಬೇಕು ಅಂತಾನು ಅದರೊಳಗಿದೆ, ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ.
Okay, sir.
ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನಾರ ಡೌಟ್ ಇದೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಏನಿದ್ರು ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಹಾಕಿ. So this is the last class. I can wind up today only. ಏನಾರ ಡೌಟ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಏನಾರ, ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಫೇಸ್ ಟು ಫೇಸ್ ಅಂತೂ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾತನಾದ್ರೂ ಆಡಿ. ಅನೂಪ್, ಸೊ 1 by 1. ಅನೂಪ್, ಎನಿ ಡೌಟ್?
ನೋ ಸರ್.
ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಯಾರು? ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ನಂಬರ್ 2 ದೀಪಕ್ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ. 3rd ಇಲ್ಲ, 4th ಇಲ್ಲ, 5th ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ನಂಬರ್ 5th ಯಾರು? ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. 6th ಯಾರು? ಗಾಯತ್ರಿ
ಸರ್. ಗಾಯತ್ರಿ. ಎಸ್ ಸರ್. ಹಾ ಸರ್.
ಏನಾರ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಇದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ.
ಓಕೆ
ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
ಓಕೆ, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. 7 ಯಾರು?
ಹೇಮಾ ಸರ್.
ಹಾ, ಹೇಮಾ, ಎನಿ ಡೌಟ್?
ನೋ ಸರ್.
ಓಕೆ. 9 ಮಧುಮಿತಾ,
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
ಎನಿ ಡೌಟ್?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಏನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ.
11, 12.
Yes, sir.
ಒಂಚೂರು ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡಿ. 11
Manjula, sir.
ಮಂಜುಳಾ. ಏನಾದ್ರು
Manjula. No, sir.
ಮನೋಜ್ ಇದಾನ? ಬಂದ್ಯಾನ ಮನೋಜು?
Yes, sir.
ಮನೋಜ್ ಯಾಕಪ್ಪ ಇದು ಮೆಂಟರ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ?
ಯಾವ್ದು ಸರ್?
ಮೆಂಟರ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತೋ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಿನಗೆ ಅದಾಗಿರೋದು?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ.
ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ನಿನಗೆ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ, ಇಮೇಲ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ.
ಇಮೇಲ್ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯ
ಇಲ್ಲ
ಇಲ್ಲ?
ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್ ನಾನು.
ಯಾಕೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಬಿಸಿನಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಹಂಗೇನಿಲ್ಲ.
ಮತ್ತೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗು 7ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು ಇರತ್, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮಂತ್. ಬರೋ, ಆಬ್ಸೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಡ.
ಹಾ ಸರ್, ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ.
ಎನಿಬಡಿ ಯಾರ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀರಾ. ಏನಾರ ಮಾತಾಡೋದಿದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿ. ನೋ ಸರ್, ನೋ ಡೌಟ್, ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್, ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್.
No doubt, sir.
ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀರಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗೆ. ಸೊ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಎನಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆರ್ ಎನಿ ಡೌಟ್, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ ಮೀ ಎನಿ ಟೈಮ್, ಎನಿವೇರ್.
Okay, sir.
Okay, good luck. Good luck for your future. Write properly all the exams. ಮತ್ತೇನಿದೆ? ಏನಾರ ಹೇಳೋದಿದ್ಯಾ? Okay.
No, sir. ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಇದ್ರೆ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, sir.
Okay, ಅಮ್ಮ. Okay, okay, okay. Umen, Razia,
Yes, sir.
ಏನಾರ ಡೌಟ್?
No doubt, sir.
ಸೊ ಏನೇ ಇದ್ರು ಡೌಟ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನನಗೆ, ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಓಕೆ, ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಗುಡ್ ಲಕ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯುವರ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Thank you, sir.